And we'll make sure that the show is going on YouTube.
Does it automatically record that for you guys, or do you have to do it there?
Yeah, it saves it on YouTube. So,
Oh,
yeah. That's the cool thing about doing the Google Hangouts is it saves it directly to YouTube, and then you can do a little bit of editing. All right. Okay. Well, we're ready to go. So
all right.
let's get this started. And did I put the wrong episode number in there? Yes, I did.
That's
Let
fantastic.
me just double check the episode number because I put episode 8, and I'm pretty sure we did episode 8. I did episode 8 last week, and I did. Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started, anyways. So, uh, hello, everybody, and welcome to Molehill Mountain, episode 8. I am Zachary Knight, and with me is Jeremy Powers.
How's it going?
And hello, everybody. And hello, Jeremy. Andrew is still off in the middle of nowhere, so there is no, he cannot get on the internet. Um, but yeah, he'll be gone all month long, so don't expect to see him until August. But yeah, so so Jeremy, have you been playing anything interesting this weekend aside from Pokemon Go? Because we're going to be talking about that here in a little bit. But
I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go. um, Actually, my whole family has. It's been funny, but we'll get into that. Monster Hunter Generations, what I just picked up yesterday. I've been messing around with it. It's really good. The hitboxes seem to be a little bit different from the old ones. So a lot of us that have played are like swinging a hammer and, oh, we didn't hit anything. Oh, crap. We're having to readjust once again. It's a gorgeous game, though.
yeah,
That, and I picked up, surprisingly, was Song of the Deep. Was actually has been a lot of fun. It's very much like a Metroid or Symphony of the Night style game, but underwater.
okay,
It's not a perfect game, but it's an interesting one. But I've enjoyed it. So,
yeah. I saw a couple of things about that. Just some handful of reviews or something, but I haven't seen anything specific about whether it's good or great or anything. I think actually I think I might have saw something that said it's not a very good game, but
I've enjoyed it. I
I
played it
don't
for a
know.
couple of hours so far. Got through the first boss fight, and it's just like a lot of the old ones. You'll find new enhancements and things that open up more parts of the world and
Yeah.
interesting physics-based puzzles too.
Huh. Because I remember playing back. I think the first Humble Bundle ever. There
Mm-hmm.
was a game called Aquaria
Yes, I
with
remember that.
in that one, and that one you play as a mermaid type creature, and then you explore underwater areas, and you get new magical powers and things, and to allow you to open up new areas to explore. So
Right.
yeah. So a similar concept, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't really had taken an interest in it. But
It's not bad. I mean, I picked it up. I grabbed the collector's edition because I get a lot of those. That's just how I am. But
okay,
yeah,
what all came in the collector's edition?
usual stuff. It's like $30. You get the steel case, and then it comes with a nice like old style hardbound book. So
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm never too much for getting the collector's editions of things. I don't know. It just never interests me.
I'm the
I
weird one. I
back
always do that.
yeah, back when I worked at EB Games, I used to take home some of the leftover pre-order bonuses for various games. I've got a little pewter pinky demon for Doom 3,
Oh God, I forgot.
and I've got a couple of I got a couple of lightsaber style things for that came with a couple of or a couple of Star Wars games, and then I've got a it's like a 4x6 print of uh, of the Balrog from Lord of the Rings that came out with came as a pre-order for one of the games way back then. I don't remember which game it was,
I still
but
work sometimes over at the local GameStop just for the heck of it,
yeah,
and I still pick up stuff from there. So I just got some of the big art prints from like Breath of the Wild and You know,
Yeah.
every time the Lego games come out, I'm always getting the little figures.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
I have a
I
whole
think
weird set of those.
I think the coolest things I ever got from EB Games was the when Nintendo did the NES Classics for the Game Boy Advance.
Yes.
They sent a whole bunch of promotional materials. They sent a some shirts that had one was a Donkey Kong shirt, another one was a Zelda shirt. I managed to get both of those, and I think there were a couple other shirts too, but I didn't care about those. And then they had these wall decals that were the one that I got was Link holding up the Triforce, and then there was a couple other ones like Mario and Donkey Kong ones, and then like the actual Nintendo logo. It was really cool. I wish I had been able to get all of them, but yeah, there's still cool promotional materials for that one. But
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of the ones that are almost like a metal type material, like really high quality.
hmm
I've got like I remember when Sonic Generations came out, they had two of them. One was classic Sonic, one was new Sonic that go together. And I got both of those. I got both the ones from Mario Kart 8 where you put them together and it's one big picture,
yeah,
Mario and them upside down on the course. The most
huh,
difficult thing is trying to find a way to hang them up properly
yeah,
because they're not normal. But anyways,
yeah, yeah. I wish I worked at a place where I could get all kinds of cool free stuff, but yeah, I don't I don't have that kind of a job anymore, unfortunately.
well, like I said, I do it part time here and there. I'm still trying to find
Yeah,
an actual job since I finally graduated. So
yeah. Well, good
the hunt
luck
is
with
on.
that. Yeah. Anything else interesting happening this week with you, or the last couple of weeks? I guess since you haven't been on the show in a while, so
This is actually my first time on this version of it. I mean, I joined you guys
yeah,
before, when you guys were still over at Game Politics, but yeah,
yeah.
it's like I said, graduated college finally, got my degree and like 7 certifications, so I've been working at that. Um, I've been trying to find ways to kind of work that into some other projects. I've been modifying a bunch of stuff, kind of playing around with it, so see how
Okay,
that goes. But
that'll be good.
other than
Yeah.
that, house shopping.
All right, that's always fun too. We've done plenty of that here.
Well, we're
But for me this week, I'm still playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
good choice.
It's just it's one of my top favorite games ever, and I bought it on PlayStation, PSN Classics, on the PlayStation 3,
Hmm.
and so yeah, I've been playing it through. I'm about 140% through the game because it measures percent complete by how many rooms you explore, and there's two versions of the castle, so I'm like 150% of the game out of the 200%. I think there's like 215% that you can actually get because of certain
Yeah, you
wall
can glitch a
glitches that
little bit.
you can go through. But yeah, um, I'll probably be finishing that this next week. But yeah, trying to think if I've started anything else. No, I'm still waiting for the replacement battery for my PSP 3001. Hopefully, I get that in the next. It's supposed to come by Monday. I was hoping it would get here early,
Yeah.
but it'll probably be here on Monday, and I'll be able to charge it and hopefully get this thing updated, and so I can actually play it because yeah, I can't even connect it to my Wi-Fi. That's how.
Oh.
Yeah, so I have to. I've got the update
Hmm.
file, and I've got that on the PS or on the PSP. It's just the PSP requires a fully charged battery and plugged into a power source in order to run the update. And
That's a little
and
obsessive.
yes, and the battery is. I'm hoping it's just that the battery is bad, because if it's a hardware issue, I'm going to be upset.
That's
Yeah,
kind of what happened. My old PSP 2000, I had the God of War Special Edition, and people kept switching the plugs around, and someone plugged in the wrong one, and it shorted it out. It
Ugh.
works beautifully, but it won't charge.
Yeah.
You can charge it via USB, but only if there's already battery power to start it. It's kind of a catch
Huh.
22. Like I had to, and I bought another one just for it.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, it's like, hey, can you charge my battery for a little while?
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping that I can actually start playing with this thing next week because I'm so hopefully I can play it because I want to install these PlayStation 1 Classics that I've got onto it the from the PlayStation 3 because all the
Right.
PlayStation 1 Classics I bought have a PSP versions. So, or I don't know if they're gonna work or not, but we'll see.
Most of them should. I actually still play most of my classics on a PSP Go.
Oh yeah,
I had bought one almost as a joke from a friend of mine. Just I collect, so
yeah.
I wanted to have it. And as a handheld, it's a piece of crap. But as an actual mini PlayStation, it's actually really cool. I
All
picked up
right.
one of the memory cards for it. I got the docking station, so
Yeah.
it actually has the video out. It scales beautifully, plays just like an original PlayStation, and you can wirelessly hook up a PS3 controller to it.
Huh.
So it's literally a tiny console in my bedroom.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because the PSP Go, that was when they decided that UMB was a terrible idea and they got rid of it.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna
And
go, digital only, and they're like, no.
yeah, we're gonna go digital only, and you'll be able to install all your PSP or UMB games on there. Not,
Oh,
but
I remember they tried to sell that so bad. It's like,
yeah,
oh yeah, we'll have that program will be there. Oh, by the way, it's not. Buy our stuff.
yeah. So, but
Mm,
I was actually looking at the games available for the PSP. There's actually a lot of great ones. I'm going to be getting at some point. I'm going to get Valkyria Chronicles 2
yeah,
because
that's a good
because
one.
I love Valkyria Chronicles. That one's on the PS3, and then the sequel is only on the PSP, which really sucks. But
Yeah, it's a good strategy
uh,
game. This guy was
yeah,
another one I played on there a lot too.
yeah. I saw a couple of Disgaea games, and they've got the re-release of Final
Final
Fantasy
Fantasy.
Tactics
Yep.
available, and they have the Final Fantasy IV with the sequel that they made.
Hmm.
The with all the episodes are available for it,
Yeah,
so
Final
that's
Fantasy
really cool.
VII Crisis Core was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Surprisingly,
Yeah,
not a
I
big
don't
fan
know.
of seven, so
Yeah, seven's not my favorite one either. But
I'm more of a nine person. 9 and 12. I'm just that guy.
I've never played 12. I stopped playing after 10, and I've played I've played everything before that. It's like one, well, I everything except Final Fantasy 2, like the and I think that's the only one that I haven't actually played. I've played all the other numbered ones up until uh, I played up to 10 2, and
Hmm.
then once Final Fantasy 11 the MMO came out, I said, "No, I'm done."
Yeah,
It's like I don't need MMOs in my official numbering system for RPG games.
I messed around with 11 a little bit, but I kind of got forced into it. My little brother had bought it, but wasn't able to play it, so it's just like, here, take this. We can't do anything with it. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot.
Nice. Um,
All right.
all right. Well, let's move on to the first topic of the day: Pokemon Go. And this is just I talked about it a little bit last week because it came out and I played it a little bit, but then this week I just really took off and just started playing it. My kids got really excited about it and
What level
everything.
are you? I
Level
hit
14,
17
I believe.
yesterday.
Huh? What
I hit
level did you hit?
17 yesterday.
17, huh? Yeah, I'm level 14. I don't I'm at a I'm not in a very convenient location, both home and work wise. So
Uh,
yeah, there are no convenient Pokestops near where I live, no convenient Pokestops near where I work, and so I have to actually go out of my way in order to hit these kind of things, and because of this, I haven't done any gym stuff, anything with the gyms, because the gyms that I've seen are all in places of business, and it's like I'm not going to go and sit in somebody's business for 15 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever to do gym battles.
A lot of them I found are in places where you can park somewhere or sit somewhere outside of it, because there's a pretty good range to it where you can access it.
Yeah.
There's one at the college that I work part-time at as well, that they've destroyed most of the parking lot because they're building an overpass around the college.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a busy highway right next to it. So you have to park and walk over to this spot in the middle of this little field. I ran into 3 other people yesterday, because it's all the team-based stuff. So my group had the gym, and 2 others were trying to take it. So I walked over and I fought them off and took the gym back over. Another guy came over and he added to it, and then I was leaving and they had taken it again, and I'm like, well, this is just hilarious.
Yeah.
But it was still funny. We walked over there and they're holding their phones, and I'm just like, hey, I guess I can probably guess what y'all are doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we see these kind of places all the time. The other day we were at the park,
Mm-hmm.
and there were 3 Pokestops all within spitting distance of each other, and so there were just probably a good dozen or so people there, just all playing Pokemon, and 2 of the Pokestops had lures on them, and so I went over there and with a couple of my kids, and we sat and hit the Pokestops a few times, and because they were fresh every 5 minutes, so it's like it's really really great deal. You hit these things, then you capture some Pokemon while you're there, and then you hit them again, and you just keep doing that, and so you can find good places like that. My wife and we actually stumbled upon another great place, which is on the college campus here. We were out on a date, and we were kind of driving by, and she was playing for me, and we went to the college campus, and there were 4 Pokestops. You had to do a little bit of walking to hit all 4 of them, but it was like you're only walking like 20 feet or 30 feet or so, right, at most to hit all 4 of them. And we were out there, and there was probably, the first night we saw that, there was probably 50 to 80 people out there, all just sitting on this grassy lawn playing Pokemon Go. And we stopped by there last night, and probably a good 50 people or so there again, and so we see these all the time, and when you get a concentration of Pokestops, you'll find a concentration of people too.
Yeah, thankfully, like the marina down by here is where a lot of people have been going, and they even changed the front sign to say Pokemon Go on there, which is great. I'll post a picture of that later. I was just like, that's fantastic. But there's like 6 or 7 Pokestops and a gym in there. Plus, you can walk on the arena where there's like another 7 or 8 Pokestops all around this area.
Nice.
And the businesses have been going nuts because there's so many people pouring into this area. Because it's ironically, it's the same park me and my wife got married in.
Yeah.
Which of course, she had to make the joke when she came with me the other night. It's like, see, this is where I caught him at. I'm like, I see what you did there, honey.
Yeah.
But it was great. Like, we took our youngest with us. My wife's gotten into playing it. He was enjoying playing it. And we're running around this park until like 11, 12 o'clock at night, just having fun with people.
Yeah.
And it's got nice. The first few nights, people were calling the cops on people. So that was interesting. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
For that, but afterwards, like I saw a cop showed up one time. He was just stop talk, saying what's going on. They were trading off tips on how to play it. And
nice.
The businesses are. I like the fact that more businesses are accepting that it's there, because
it's
getting people off their butts and out of their houses and into all these areas.
Yeah, yeah. The businesses are. I think the businesses are probably pretty happy with this, because especially if your business is right there next to a Pokestop or a Pokemon gym or something.
Oh, two
Because
of the
there was.
comic book stores here are Pokemon gyms, and they are
Oh,
going.
really?
Yeah. Oh
Nice.
Lord.
Yeah, because we get there's one place where there's a Pokestop. It's in a it's in this little shopping plaza thing, and there's like four restaurants there, and I'm sure they're pretty happy about it. um, and there's a gas station like right across the street that's a gym, and then there's a Pokestop right behind it, and it's crazy. I'm just like, man, I wish, this would be awesome to, to be near this all the time. And
I can say it works because I'm not gonna lie. The second I was playing it, my lunch was decided by Pokemon Go. I was I was driving out, and I'll have it. I won't be playing it. I'll have it on just because if you go slow, sometimes it counts the distance. But
yeah,
I don't play it while I'm going. No one
yeah,
should be playing it while driving. But I look over, and it's right where my usual GPS is.
yeah.
And I'm driving by, and apparently the Taco Bell that's there is a Poke Center, and someone had just put a lure, and I went, lunchtime. So
Nice.
there was 5 or 6 people sitting in there playing Pokemon Go because of that lore.
Yeah,
I was like, they should have just be doing this themselves. Just
yeah.
drop it and go because people will stop. It's
Oh,
hilarious.
definitely. But I don't think that would be kind of one of those things that I guess you could market as a business expense, because how much would a Pokemon lure cost? Let's see, eight
They're
lures are 680 coins, and you're looking at spending $10 just to get 1,200 coins.
well, plus if there's people that are
So
playing and you get lures every couple levels and things like that as well.
yeah, if people are playing, yeah, but if just thinking about just attracting that first group of people, just 8 lures, that probably gets you through a couple of days as just just the initial lure to attract people.
Right. A lot of
um,
them are doing it kind of like
so
events. Like the comic book stores are having Pokemon Go nights where people will come there specifically and they'll do lures and things like that. But a lot
that's
of
cool.
times, like at the park, people will just go there and if someone has one, they'll just cycle through and just start throwing them out for everybody.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like, or tonight or this afternoon, we took the kids to play at the park, and there were two Pokestops at the park, and so I put a lure up on one of them, and just caught me some Pokemon, and got about 30 or so of the which ones are they? The Great Balls, and a bunch of Pokeball,
Right.
regular Pokeballs, and it was, it was pretty productive hour, Pokemon wise, and the
Money,
kids got to play. So
yeah, money wise, I'm actually kind of liking how they have it set up. It's not forcing you constantly to try and buy things. They actually make it fairly accessible for most people to get more Pokeballs and things like that.
yeah, yeah. I haven't felt the need to buy anything at all yet
I
in
was
this game.
the only things I was tempted, and I thought about doing. I'm gonna get the watch when it comes out. As soon as
Oh
I can,
yeah,
I'm gonna get one of those. Um, but then I thought about buying just for the bag and the Pokemon storage upgrade, which I mean that's what 400 coins total. So
yeah.
that's like $5. That's permanent. But I found out every time you take a gym or put a Pokemon on a gym, you get like 10 coins a day or something like that, as long as they're
Huh.
on there and some other stuff. So I've already got 20 coins just from the fact I've taken 2 gyms in 2 days. So if
That's
I do
cool. I
that, I
haven't.
could just build it up for free and never even have to pay for it. Just do it.
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to figure out how you're supposed to. For most games, most free to play games, they allow you a way to collect the premium currency, and I hadn't done that, and so I figured, yeah, it's probably something to do with the gyms, and
Yeah,
since I haven't done anything with gyms yet,
it's more of a
I'm.
bonus because they give you a lot of the stuff you would normally buy just at Pokestops randomly or
Oh
when you
yeah,
level up. So it's
yeah. I think the only thing that you can't get at a, or I haven't seen at a Pokestop yet, are the lure modules and
Lure,
incubators.
incubators you can. I have gotten those.
You have?
Lures,
Okay.
lures I have not seen,
Yeah, I
but a
haven't
lot of
seen
people
them.
get those when they level or do other stuff.
Yeah.
So
And then there's the lucky eggs.
yep,
I haven't
I've
seen
gotten
any
one.
of those. You have?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
great.
haven't gotten any of those. So,
Fun
but
little
I
tip
have
if you
gotten
ever
plenty
get
of
one.
Pokemon eggs. So,
Yeah, those you get constantly because you have to keep walking, which is
yeah.
great. I mean, people joke like for all these initiatives for children's health and people's health to get up and do things. Pokemon Go did more in 48 hours than they had done
Yeah,
in years.
exactly. Yeah, I like the hatching the eggs thing. That's just a really cool mechanic. Problem with for me is I would have to actually go out and walk in order to do this because I tried just setting these up to hatch, and then before I would go to work, and then it's like I go to my work is about 4 miles from here, and so I get there and I look at my incubators, and it's like 0.4 kilometers. I'm like, what?
Yeah, see
I
that's
drove
that's the
four
thing.
miles. How is it 0.4 kilometers? But yeah,
It
you
it
gotta be
um
under
it,
a certain speed in
yeah,
order for it to register. So
yeah, they were devilishly smart about that.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
So
no,
it
actually
prevents
stop the
people
bus.
from just setting these eggs to hatch or to incubate and then taking a trip out of town, and then just
Right.
as they're driving, switch them out. But yeah, so I tried to get. While I was at the park, I tried to do a little bit of walking, managed to get almost a kilometer while I was at the park, but it's just I couldn't go too far away because I had to be there to supervise my kids too. So
Right. Well, there's a big park close to our house actually that has a bunch of Pokestops all over it, but they
yeah,
set them all up over this giant, you know, 2 mile walking path around this
hmm
huge playground for kids. So we're just kind of like, we're going for a walk. We just go the
well,
course.
yeah, and that's how it is at the parks around here. The park I was at today, the two Pokestops that I was hanging out around were just right there at right around the playground equipment. But there was a walking trail, and on that was about five Pokestops along this entire trail and one gym, and I was like, well, if I didn't have the kids, I would be tempted to actually walk this,
They were smart
and
about this one. They put the gym right there at the big play area. So you could
mhm.
sit down and do the gym while your kids are doing it. Or if you want to walk around, you could tell the Pokestops going around the entire area. And there was like 10 or 11. I mean, it's ridiculous how many are over there.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
The big park that's actually near us. I went to one that was a decent drive, about 15-minute drive from here. But there's one just like 5 minutes away, and that one again, it's right next to a YMCA, which has about four Pokestops along its campus and a gym there, and then the park there has about 10 or so along the trails and everything, and so it's really cool. Yeah, and there's always a lot of people there. Yeah. All
uh,
right.
I've seen a lot of people buying new phones too, just because like, oh, mine isn't compatible. I'd like a new phone.
Yeah, my phone is the only compatible phone in the house, and my wife has a Galaxy S3,
Oh, that doesn't
and
work. Okay.
yeah, and that doesn't work. She tried downloading it, and it told her that her phone wasn't compatible,
Dang. Yeah.
and
Try and sell too.
and so my phone's the only one that's compatible, uh, but
Oh,
it
you have
doesn't work
S5?
with AR mode. I have to turn off AR mode in order to see the Pokemon. I can't see them, in the actual using the
You have
camera.
you have a Galaxy S5 or what kind do you have?
This is a Grand Prime.
Oh,
So,
okay. I have an S5 and I can use AR because when you do the AR, you have to actually turn and they're at a certain spot and you have to actually because you'll see
well,
arrows
yeah,
show up on the side to show you where to turn. when you turn AR mode off, they're already, they're automatically going to show up in front of you. But you have to
Yeah.
actually kind of turn and look where they are. And
Well, and I did that. Like when I first got it, I would go around and there's like these little flashes and I guess if I had the sound on, the Pokemon would growl or whatever.
Mhm.
So I get this little flash and a growl, but I can't see the actual Pokemon anywhere, and so
That's not good.
yeah. So yeah, I have to turn it off in order to actually catch Pokemon.
Do what you have to do. It's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, but I can't get any of those cool pictures that everybody else is getting.
I have gotten some pretty funny ones.
Yeah.
Okay, we actually found, we were on our way to the marina. We stopped by my wife's old dojo. She's a black belt, Yoshikai Karate.
Yeah.
One of the dojos she used to go to before they moved over. We stopped by there and actually found a Hitmonlee right in front of the dojo. So we got a picture
Nice.
of the dojo with the Hitmonlee there. We don't know if they did that on purpose or if it's just the greatest bit of coincidence in Pokemon history.
Yeah, I haven't caught a Hitmonlee yet.
I hatched a
But,
Hitmonchan and caught a Hitmonlee, so.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't. See, the strongest Pokemon I've got so far is I caught a Scyther today, which was really cool. It took me like nearly 20 Great Balls to catch.
Good lord.
Because this thing was insane. It had a combat power of 666, and
That's your highest?
yeah, but I
That's adorable.
hit the power up one time, and so it's 694 now. But yeah, that's my strongest Pokemon so far.
I have a Vaporeon I named Abe Sapien. That's 1209.
Wow. Yeah, my Vaporeon is only 488. I my the Eevee that I evolved was pretty weak, so
I'm still trying to get a Jolteon. I got a Flareon and a Vaporeon.
yeah. Well, they some websites had done some experimenting, and they figured out that if you name your Eevees after the trainers in the cartoon, they actually evolved to the corresponding evolution.
I was gonna try and test that because it just seems almost far fetched, like one of those playground things. Like, oh, it's a girl. No, she's not. Or no, it's not.
Yeah.
Like when we were kids, it just seems like that's a whole new reoccurrence, which is funny because they're talking about they're on a device that has internet. They could just look it up. But
yeah. Yeah, but I try to catch things, and I've got to the point where I'm actually early on in the game I wasn't paying too much attention to what I was evolving and everything.
right.
But now I've got it figured out. You transfer all the weak piddly things so you can build up your Poke Candies, and then you evolve those large ones, and so I've actually replaced my Raticate like 4 times already.
Yeah, you want to level it up some before you evolve it because it's an exponential jump. The higher the lower one is, the higher the bigger one becomes. That's how I ended up with the Vaporeon.
Yeah, I don't bother with powering up the lower ones right now. I just what I do is I just hit the I just collect them, and then the most powerful one is the one I evolve, and then I go down from there as I evolve them, and then I just replace them as I go along. So, like I said, my Raticate I've replaced 3 times, or 3 or 4 times, and I'm almost ready to replace my Pidgeot because I managed to get a Pidgeotto, which is has its power bar or power level to a point where it's actually, once it's evolved, it's going to be stronger than my current Pidgeot.
Right.
But yeah, let's see. But I've only caught I only have about 50 or so of the available Pokemon. I've seen a Kingler, which got away from me, and I've run into a Tentacool like 4 times now, and it keeps escaping.
I've been
And
on a mad dash trying to find a Onyx. It'll pop up, and I was in my old neighborhood by my dad's house, and Onyx popped up, and I'm driving everywhere as I'm trying to figure out the little thing as it's moving around to tell where it's
yeah,
at. Never could
yeah.
find it.
Haven't seen an Onyx. I've caught a Geodude.
Oh,
Um,
I missed a Graveler.
yeah. Um, I've seen. Let me open up my Pokédex, and I started with a Bulbasaur. I've seen a Squirtle. The Squirtle got away, which kind of ticked me off.
Oh, wait, you started
Um,
with a Bulbasaur?
yeah,
Good man. You did it
yeah.
right.
And then I've caught a whole bunch of Parises, little
Mm.
mushroom crab guys, and I've actually seen its evolution and tried to catch it, but it got away. An
Oh, that's good.
Abra
Mine did. I can.
got away from me.
I did get an Abra. I got 2 of them.
Yeah, I've seen Abras twice, and they've both gotten away from me. The Tentacool I've seen twice, and it's gotten away from me. The Kingler once, and yeah, I've hatched a Voltorb, the Execute thing,
Execute.
yeah, and a Jigglypuff, and those are the unique ones that I've hatched. But yeah, I don't have. Kind of sad that I don't have more than that. I do have a Pinsir and a Taurus,
I
but
haven't got a Taurus yet.
they're both relatively weak just because I've only caught one of each of those, so I haven't been able to power any of them up.
Yeah, I have. I don't know if they're going through and like tweaking different areas, but the building I work with at the college, it's where we do a lot of our electrical engineering stuff. All of a sudden, in the past couple days, nothing but electric types show up there. Voltorbs, Magnemites, Magnetons, just we have
Oh
those
yeah,
things for days just at that building. And if that was on purpose, that's
huh?
fantastic.
Yeah. See, I haven't seen anything like that. Just the area that I'm in,
Hmm.
it's all Pidgeys, Rattatas. Let's
Yeah,
see,
those are
Pidgeys,
common.
Rattatas, Weebles or Weedles. Um, let's see, what other ones are pretty common to this area.
I recommend you evolve a Paraswap.
Venonats. Venonats are pretty common here. Doduos are really common, and then Tanglas. Yeah, it's like those are the ones I'm always seeing.
There we go. Evolve my Parasect.
There you go.
Which is kind of sad because that means I just made it go brain dead.
Oh, really?
Well,
That's
it's
right.
based
It's
on
got the parasitic
fungus.
mushrooms on its back.
Yeah, that's why it loses its pupils because it's just brain dead. The mushroom is controlling it now, and I'm like, that is horribly depressing
Yeah,
because it's
there's
all
some.
happy, and then you just kill it basically,
Yeah,
make it still work for you. It's a zombie.
yeah.
Ugh.
I'm yeah. I don't know where to go in order to catch anything more interesting than what I've already got, and it's like these ones that I've missed or that I've actually tried to catch and they got away. I can't find them again anywhere. They're
I just
so
named it.
rare.
I just named it Joel from The Last of Us.
Nice.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, Pokemon Go. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but it's been
uh,
amazing how big it got so fast.
oh well, it's. I was talking about this with somebody this week, and it's the fact that this is about 90% of the Pokemon MMO that everybody's been wanting. Um, it's people have been begging for a Pokemon MMO, and with the ability to not just play online with other people, but to actually interact with people in real life too, and so you've got that part right now where you can actually capture the Pokemon and everything. It's only missing two things in this scenario is the ability to trade other players
Which is coming.
and which should be coming, yeah, and the ability to just battle other players
which is
outside of gyms, and those are the only two things that are really missing from this game.
Yeah, I mean, and they've said both of those are coming in updates, which is nice because they're doing bi-weekly updates.
Yeah,
But I have no idea if that means twice a week or every 2 weeks. I hate the term, that whole term. I can't stand it.
yeah, that's
Like, we're gonna
it's a
pay you bi-weekly. Wait, which one?
yeah.
What are we doing here?
It means the same. It means two things, and it's commonly used both ways.
Yes, ironically, it has two meanings too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So. Yeah. So it's a fun game. I'm just sad that nobody else in my house can play it on their phones because they're always taking my phone away from me now. And yeah, but all of my interactions with other people have been great. The only time I was really frustrated was I was at the park, and my kids were talking with some other kids there, and some of them, some of the are my kids, and then these other kids came over to me, and one of these other kids I didn't know grabbed my hand and pulled it down so he could see my phone screen.
That's kids.
And yeah, it's a kid thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, don't do that, kid. Seriously. It's like I told the kid politely. It's like,
Yeah,
it's
I've had
not
kids
nice
do that
to grab other
recently.
people's phones and because you might accidentally make them drop it, and that wouldn't be good. So
Yeah, most
yeah.
kids don't come with that
Yeah.
ability.
No.
Like, what do you mean? Oh Lord.
Yeah. But my kids are pretty good at it. They like playing it. When I go somewhere and I have one of the kids with me, I'll turn Pokemon Go on and hand it to them and say, "All right, you're in charge of hitting every Pokestop that we drive by and catching Pokemon." And they love it now. They love going on trips with me. So
Yeah, every time
yeah.
I go for a walk, my youngest wants to go with me now.
Oh yeah. That's nice. Yeah.
Let's go, Dad. All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's probably enough Pokemon Go chatter.
But not the last.
But not the last. Yeah, this thing's gonna go for weeks and weeks.
Well, just
and
think
weeks,
about it. This is only the first 150. There's 700 something Pokemon. Plus,
yeah,
games coming out. They got some time.
which is kind of interesting actually, because I was looking at it and my Pokedex only goes to like 130, and
It only
like
goes.
Eevee is the last one.
Yeah, mine goes beyond that because it only shows you from whichever the first one is down to whichever the last one you caught is.
Yeah.
So it goes as high as your highest Pokemon, which for most people
Okay.
is Eevee to begin with. Mine,
Yeah.
let me see where mine goes because I know mine goes beyond Eevee.
Yeah, because I
Mine
get
goes to 147 because I got a Dratini the other day.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen those around, but I haven't actually seen them to catch them. I just see their silhouette in the nearby menu. So.
Yeah, this was a fun surprise. I found a Kabuto, the weird little helmet-looking guy.
Oh wow, nice.
I want to try and evolve him, but he's such a pain to find.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is you've got to find at least 20 of these things in order.
101 for Magikarps.
Yeah, that one's crazy.
Well, I mean,
well, you don't have to get exactly 101 because you get one Poke Candy every time you transfer one out.
Right, we calculated out though. You get 3 every time you catch one, plus a fourth one you give out for it, and you have to have 1 to evolve. You have to have 100 or 400 to evolve it. So it comes out to exactly 101 Magikarp.
Okay.
Without leveling it, just evolving it immediately, you can do it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've got I've captured 4 of them so far.
You're well on your way.
Yeah.
I think I'm like at 40 at this point. All right, moving on from Pokemon.
All right, moving on. The other big news from this week is Nintendo. They decided to launch a new console for the holiday season. But no, it's not the NX. It's actually just a retro console with the NES Classic Edition.
And I'm stupidly happy about this.
Oh yeah, I am too. For those
Oh, go ahead.
For those who don't know what the NES Classic Edition is, it's basically Nintendo's version of the Atari flashback consoles,
Mhm.
where Atari launched these consoles that have 30 or 60 built-in games into them, and you just plug it directly into your TV, and you can play all these classic Atari games. Then Sega came out with one,
Yep.
and now Nintendo has finally caught up with them and is launching their own, which is really cool. And it has 30 built-in games, and there's not a bad game in the lot. It's like
No, not.
basically it, they compiled a list of everybody's top 30 favorite games, and then picked the 30 that showed up more
Yeah,
uh,
like
in
here's
all of
everything
them.
we actually own that we can put on there, and these people finally agreed to give us like 1 or 2 games each. So we're gonna
Yeah,
throw them
because
in there.
they've got Castlevania 1 and 2,
Hmm.
Final Fantasy, Mega Man 2. So there's three developers right there
Yeah.
that are outside Nintendo. Um, I forget what the other games are, but
There was a bunch. I mean, it's 30 games. You get like Mario 1, 2, and 3, plus
yeah,
Metroid, Kirby's Adventure, the original Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong 1, Donkey Kong Jr. You get Super C. You get, and I'm doing this off the top of my head here, people. Uh, come on, what else was there? There was a lot. I mean, it was just,
oh yeah, it's a great list of games.
and it's literally a tiny, like, could fit in your hand miniature NES, which is hilarious. But this is going to throw a lot of kids off. You have to actually plug the controller in. I guarantee some kids like, what do you mean I got to plug it in? Is it charging?
Yeah, yeah, but it's got the controller ports for the classic controller and classic controller Pro,
Yeah,
and then the remake of the original Nintendo controllers are have that same adapter.
yeah. It's
So
literally the on the front of the system is the port that's on the bottom of a Wii remote.
yeah,
So you got two of those. You plug in these NES remakes, which Nintendo makes them. They look 100% accurate, which is great. But
yeah,
they'll work on the Wii and the Wii U. You can plug them in and use them for Virtual Console and stuff on there. And if you
yeah,
already have classic controllers, you can plug them into it and use those too.
yeah. But the only problem with that is those classic controllers. I've got one sitting right here. Uh, Hopefully you guys can see this, but this
Oh
stretches
yeah.
end to end. It's only 3 feet. There is no way I am plugging this into that console and playing it unless I'm on like a
Now,
tiny television.
yeah. How many times as a kid did we sit there, Indian style, sitting on the floor playing Nintendo with that short cord? You know it's
Well,
gonna
the
happen.
thing is the original controllers were 6 foot cord lengths, and so 6 foot is a
Oh,
little
yeah.
more comfortable than 3 feet.
We'll
Um,
see.
I don't
But
know. They're a lot longer than 3 feet. This controller's cord is designed to plug into the Wii remote, which is wireless.
right.
And so you just sit the Wii remote next to you on the couch, and then you have this, and then you hold this and play your game. That's what this is designed for. This was not designed to plug
As
directly into a console.
as small as it is though, it's still not bad. Like if you could set this thing up on a tiny table with a little TV and play it easily and use these short cords. It's a nice option. I mean, even
Yeah,
if it's short cord,
but
but
how
it's
many people are going to have a spare tiny HDMI compatible TV?
many
Yeah,
of them.
yeah. Well, it's like I've got one TV. We just sold our second TV, but both of them were big TVs. One's a 36 inch, and the one we sold was a 42 inch, I think. And then it's like I've got two HDMI compatible monitors, but they don't have audio capabilities. So so I'm you know this console, I would just have to use the included controllers because I'm not plugging that classic controller in there, and I'm not going to spend $6 to get, or $6 to $10 to get an extension cable when I could just buy an extra NES
Yeah,
Classic controller.
I don't even think they make an extension cable for that. I've never seen one.
Well, I've got this this right here. It's a USB adapter, so you can connect this to your or to a computer, and it's got a nice 6-inch cable on it, or a 6-foot cable on it, and it supports 2 controllers, so you can have up to 2 players. And so that's what I use to play. I use this and my classic controller to play games on my computer that support controllers.
Gotcha.
And
I broke
so
down and I bought the Xbox One Elite controller, and I used that for a lot of it.
yeah, I've been considering getting a wired Xbox 360 controller for gaming too. But
the wired ones are really nice, but I also have the wireless adapter for the 360 and the one for Xbox One controllers. The Xbox One version I like because it's wireless to the computer, but it also gives you surround sound through the headset. You can plug in your headphones and still get sound.
yeah,
And mic through it, just built into what it normally has. So
okay.
sorry, bumped my Surface here. I actually bought it for my Surface, so if I'm out doing something, I can plug it in, throw on the headphones I use on my Xbox One, and just sit there and play it. And I play Skyrim on here.
Okay, yeah, because other than my classic controller, I play on my computer. I use the Ouya controller because my computer supports Bluetooth, and the Ouya controller is just it's sync and play. It's there's no finagling with anything trying to get that to work on there. Yeah.
It's one of the ones I need to pick up for my weird little collection, but I never find them anymore.
You can see them on Craigslist every now and then or whatever, but yeah, they still completely function. I actually played it the other day because some of my kids were wanting to play Towerfall, and so I actually plugged it in and had to update a handful of games, but Towerfall wasn't one of them. So I don't think we're going to get any of the updates after the Ascension version that came out, but yeah, it still works. You can still buy games. It's just whatever company it is that bought Ouya gets the money now. But this classic, I wrote about this classic NES console, and my only 2 gripes are the fact that it doesn't support the original controllers. Because I would love, I've got a ton of NES controllers just sitting around. I would love to just take one of those and stick it in.
Yeah, most people don't. I mean, it's a nice workaround to give us a controller compatible with it that still works with the new system.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and that's one of those things too, because the Retron, that aftermarket,
I hate that
console company, they have their thing where the Retron 5, which is the most recent one, it has controller ports that support the original NES, the original Super Nintendo, and the Genesis controllers.
Right.
And then it has wireless controllers that come with it. And I was looking at that and I'm like, Nintendo could have done the same thing, just put two original ports on there, and then the 2 classic or Wii U controller ports on it, and it would have been fine. I'm like, that's just me.
But I mean,
yeah, definitely.
The issue I've had, I've only got to play like 3 games on it. The pins keep breaking. It's just,
oh, really?
Yeah, I've gone through 2 of them already, and I already have to try and get a 3rd one.
Which version do you have?
Retron 5.
You've got the Retron 5? Okay.
Yep. I played 1 Super Nintendo game on it. The pins broke as the game came out. Replaced it. Pins broke again on the Super Nintendo after playing 2 games. And wow. And I was like, yeah. But, I mean, it's a nice bonus if they did that. But I know, like, as soon as they tried to put original controller ports, people are going to be trying to find the old controllers, or, they have to remake them and rewire them. Plus, they'd be like, well, why can't we use the cartridges?
Well, and that was my other thing too. Is Sega's classic console thing, whatever they called it. That one came with a Genesis port on there, where you could actually plug the Genesis and Master System cartridges into it and play those.
Mhm.
And so that one was really cool. I'm like, Nintendo, come on, Sega's doing better than you here. And I even think the Genesis one had supported the original controllers too. Um, so yeah, so that's just kind of putting the actual cartridge port on there and support for the original controllers. It's like those are the two big things that I would want. The other one is the ability to connect to Nintendo's virtual console store and buy new games to add to it. But
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of that, it's kind of why they have the ones on like the Wii and the Wii U. This is more
yeah,
of it's a one-off thing. Like you get it, you have these classic games. It's good for kids or people just want to use those. If they actually did the cartridge port, the system would have to be a good bit bigger. I mean, if you actually see how small this thing
yeah,
is, I mean, it's tiny even compared to the top loader that's hard to find, and that was the smallest thing
oh
they
yeah.
ever made.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's definitely small, but they would have to make it bigger. I think the cartridges are probably about they're probably about as wide as it is. The cartridges
yeah,
are probably about as wide as the console is. So yeah, it
I
would
think they
have to
made a
be a
choice.
little bit bigger. But
I think they kind of made a choice like this is, it's a retro system. We're going to have these in here. We want it to look just like the original NES. That's why even the controller ports where they put them, it took me
yeah,
a second to realize that wasn't the normal ports. They placed them well.
yes, they did. This looks just like it. The little cargo bay or whatever it is that lid
That's,
doesn't
yeah.
open. That's just
Now,
aesthetics there, but
let's see if they actually went far enough when we get one. If you turn it to the side, if there's a little tiny audio video jacks on the side, not working, just little tiny ones there.
yeah, that would be cool too. Yeah. I, other interest, it details, if every once in a while the power will just blink like the original NES does when the 72 pin connectors are
Yeah,
getting worn down.
mine doesn't do that anymore. Thankfully, I went in, replaced the pins, took out the lockout chip. I'm even gonna
Yeah,
get the RGB mod on it eventually. So
nice.
now, if this sells well, I want them to make a Super Nintendo and an N64 version of this.
Oh yeah, yeah. The Kotaku did some follow-up questions with Nintendo, and when they asked them about SNES and N64 versions, they said we can't comment right now.
Yeah, nothing to comment
And
on. But
yeah, but every other question had a definitive yes or no answer to it. That was the one no comment, and so that means that they have plans for it if this does well. That's
yeah, I think
that's what I read here.
what's gonna happen, I think, if they do it, because if you see the logo they made for it, it looks very much like you could switch it out with a Super Nintendo and change it. It
Yeah.
would be a series. I could see
Mhm.
them doing that, and this is a nice, cheaper alternative to get people to buy the games because there's a lot of people like, oh, I just want these, but I want to buy an entire console. And I
Yeah,
understand some people are like that. This could be an alternative to what they get. You don't you
definitely.
wouldn't
Yeah.
go buy a PlayStation 3 just to be able to play PlayStation games. You might go buy a PS1.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
I think they
I
might.
could definitely see them doing the Super Nintendo next Christmas. The N64 one might be a little trickier because the games are a lot larger in size
Yeah, but
than the
flash
Super
memory.
Nintendo. But yeah, flash memory is relatively cheap. I think with 30 with even like a 32 gig flash memory in there, they could probably fit a good number of games N64 games on there. So
Yeah,
yeah,
my
with this one, I would be surprised if the onboard memory was larger than 2 or 3 gigs,
yeah.
just if that, just because these ROM sizes for these are in the kilobytes. So
Yeah, I think.
uh,
I mean,
I
you
can't.
could. That
Yeah.
would be hilarious. Um, but my other reasoning for that is not only do I want to play those games that they would have on it, but I want those controllers. I want the Super Nintendo
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
the
The
N64
those
compatible with the Wii U and the Wii. I'd be like, yay, Smash Bros.
yeah. Yeah, but I'm trying to. I have a hard time thinking that they'll re-release the N64 controller though, just because that thing is such a beast. It's huge, and it's very different. Like
I
it's
liked it, but I think they would probably update the thumbstick on it. The
if they would get rid of that center thing with the where the analog stick was, and just move the analog stick and the Z trigger over just onto the left, just basically turned it into this. I think that would be
I'm kind
better
of a purist
received
on
than
that.
the
I
original
wish
one.
they would. I kind of hope they would do a normal one because just like the NES, you'd have the option to use that one if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I would be like, I'd want. I still use my N64 controller. I went in, I rebuilt the sticks on them. I'm an electronics engineer. That's what I do.
Yeah. Well, and it's pretty easy to replace the analog stick to fix it,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't think I'm not a fan of the N64 controller at
I'm kind of
all.
like this.
I didn't like
I
it.
agree. The classic controller is technically better designed. I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, I'm the same person that's be like, yeah, I'm glad I'm getting that old blocky. It's going to eventually hurt your hand original NES controller because it's nostalgia love. I mean, that's
Yeah. Yeah, that was the other thing. No dog bone controllers, which is really sad. I like the dog bone controllers,
I
and
still
no
have,
arcade stick. I love that arcade stick. That arcade stick is just the best thing ever.
I still have my NES Advantage and the what was the other one, the Super Advantage for Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
Still got both of those.
yeah. But going back through these games, I'm looking at the list on Polygon.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Balloon Fight, Bubble Bobble, Castlevania 1 and 2, Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., Double Dragon 2, Dr. Mario Excite Bike, Final Fantasy, Galaga, Ghosts and Goblins, Gradius, Ice Climber, Kid Icarus, Kirby's Adventure, Mario Brothers, Mega Man 2, Metroid, Ninja Gaiden, Pac-Man Punch Out, featuring Mr. Dream, so it's not Mike Tyson version.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, Star Tropics, Super C, Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3, Tecmo Bowl. So we do have a sports title. The Legend of Zelda and Zelda 2.
That's
Yeah, so
that's like a greatest of hit. A greatest
yeah,
hit.
this is just a greatest hits of these, and it's like Ninja Gaiden is awesome. It's a super difficult but totally
Yeah.
awesome game, and
Difficult.
so
There's Ghosts and Goblins on there for crying out loud.
yeah, we got Ghosts and Goblins and Mega Man 2 on here too. So it's like three of the most difficult games ever on the NES have made it on here. So that's totally cool.
It's time to grow up.
Yeah,
Play these.
yeah, and then
There's a lot of gameplay. I mean, between Final Fantasy, Metroid, both the Zeldas, and those are
yeah,
long games. You can
yeah, and
sit
they
and
have
play.
but they also have they have a number of Mario experiences too. So you've got all three Super Mario Brothers. Then you have Mario Brothers, which is the single screen thing where you hit the bugs and stuff from underneath and then kick them off the level. So that one was always fun. I liked playing that one.
When you get Donkey
And then
Kong, his first
yeah, and
appearance.
then you got Donkey Kong and Dr. Mario, which is his first non-platformer game, I guess,
Yeah.
or at least one of the first non-platformer
Well, let's not forget Donkey Kong
Mario
Jr.,
ones.
the game where he was the villain.
Yeah, yeah,
He
Mario
was
was
the
the
bad
villain in
guy.
that one. Yeah. And then Punch Out where he was a referee.
He's in
Yeah,
most of those games, probably somewhere.
yeah, probably. But yeah, Star Tropics is one that I'm excited about. I actually own Star Tropics, the actual cartridge, and I think I'm trying to remember if I have Star Tropics 2 or not.
Dude, both of
But
those are still ones I'm hunting for. I'm trying to get them.
yeah, great games, great games. If you're a fan of Zelda games, they're well worth it. And which is kind of funny story with Star Tropics is that back when I was a teenager, I remember having a very detailed dream about Star Tropics. Okay, right down to the art assets, the gameplay, and everything. It's like I remember a dream where I was in the game, and the submarine, everything in it. But the thing is, I had this dream before I had any idea what Star Tropics was. I it's one of those things that it's like, did I actually see this before or not? Because it wasn't until much later where I actually read about Star Tropics in some magazine that I got, and I was like, that is the dream I had. That is totally awesome. So I've had a couple of dreams like that before. It's like some song I remember dreaming about, and then I went and I asked my friend. I was like, "Dude, is there a song with these lyrics?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Really? When did I hear this song?"
Yeah, it's one of those things like you probably heard it or saw something about it beforehand.
Yeah.
The brain processed it, but you just didn't care to normal level, and it comes up later. But people were kind of laughing, like, "Why are you so excited to buy this?" It's like, I just rebuilt my NES. It runs beautifully. I can play all these games. I have almost every one of them except for, I think, Star Tropics, like I said. And I'm just like, it's just, I'm gonna do it. I mean,
well, and for me, I've got a handful of these titles. I don't have all these ones, and these aren't games that I'm actively searching for. But it's like, if I were to buy all these games, if they were available through Nintendo's Virtual Console service, they would run me, over $100.
yeah,
And it's like $100 versus $30. I'm going $30. Yeah, and these are all games that I know my kids would love. So yeah, and I know I would love.
and it's a low power option because, I mean, if you get like a small screen with HDMI, you could plug this into a car. It runs off a phone charger. So you can plug it into, get a DC power adapter, plug it into a car, and kids can play NES games on a trip really easily.
Yeah, that's
this thing can be a
that's
very good
one of those
portable
things
for
too.
trips. I mean, think about how many
Definitely.
hotels you go to that haven't, they have a TV with HDMI. Just plug in your NES and go to town.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I liked the concept of the Ouya, was for that very same reason. You just pack it in your suitcase, and you had a game system to take with you on trips. But yeah, this is another one of those great systems for that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are at an hour, and and we ended up
talking about two things.
Yeah, I ended up talking about two things, and a good game says, yeah, it's $60. I said $30 earlier, but yeah, it's $60. It's $2 per game. But
not even that, taking into account hardware.
Well, yeah. If you count hardware, it's like the controller sells for $10 on its own. So you take $10 off the price of the console because it comes with one of those controllers. So it's less than $2 a game for that. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and close out the podcast. Thanks for visiting with me, Jeremy. I was glad to have you over. I don't mind. I did the podcast by myself last week just because I wanted to make sure that I could actually get everything to run smoothly before I invited anybody on, and so this week was great. Last week was fine because I had a very lively chat, so a lot of back and forth with those people. But it's always good to have somebody that I'm actually talking with.
Yeah, that's why we haven't done
our
podcast in a while, because it's just me right now, and I've been doing another one with some other people doing theirs, the Nerd Edification Hour over at the college.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's cool. All right, but let's go ahead and close up. And why don't you tell us where people can find you and what you're doing right now?
All right, you can find me on Twitch at Zenspath, ZENSPATH. You can also, I've been pretty much a long-term guest on, or I'm now part of the show over the Nerd Edification Hour, which is, you can find that on YouTube. Nerd, it's under Strangely Entertaining, capital S, capital E. It's all one word. That's with Caleb and Rachel, some friends of mine that I've been doing it with. And then we're going to try and get our show, the Zenspath podcast, going again once, now that I've seen how well this works, we might try and use Hangouts ourselves. This makes much more sense.
Yeah, it's definitely a great system to do these things. So
works out well.
All right. Well, and I'm Zachary Knight. You can follow me on Twitter at EZKnight. You can follow my game development work. It's DK_gaming on Twitter, DivineKnightGaming.com. And the Oklahoma game development scene is at OKGameDevs on Twitter and OKGameDev.com. And as always, you can you can find Molehill Mountain and all my writing, Andrew's writings, and stuff at randomtower.com. And so this has been Molehill Mountain, episode 9. It says episode 8. I'll fix that in post. But yeah, this has been episode 9, and thank you everybody for coming in and watching, and thank you again, Jeremy, for joining us.
Anytime, man.
Good night.
Fun. See ya.